Okay, so I'm now making a little different video because today we're not going to focus on console games because I am really not the console gamer fan. I'm play more PC games on the computer, and yeah, and I focus reviewing all different odd things. So yeah, when I was younger, I played a lot of these sim games, and I have a little collection here. These are pretty old games from starting from 1989. Yeah, so let's review them. So these games are, I think they're reproductions, because EA has their logo on here. EA hadn't bought Maxis back then, but these are reproduction cards, no, games. And yeah, so take a look at the system requirements for this one. Yeah, 12 megahertz processor and 2 megabyte of RAM, Windows CD-ROM, 3 megabyte hard drive space. Yeah, Sim Earth, Sim Ant, and Sim Tower. To run these, it's pretty hard to run these on a modern computer because they're 64-bit now, but if you have Windows XP, they still run fine, all these games, but you have to emulate them in DOSBox or some kind of emulator. And these all run on Windows 3.1, except for SimCopter and Sim Safari. And Sim Safari is actually a Finnish translated version that's published by this company right here. So I will probably cover SimCopter and Sim Safari some another review when I get everything set up. So here we are, back in 1989, starting Windows 3.1. So let's begin with our first game, Sim Earth. This was the Maxis' second game after their success, SimCity, but I decided to make the games in like simulation order. Start with the games that simulate the biggest things and going to the smallest. In Sim Earth, you simulate a planet like Earth, and the life and the temperature and everything, really every aspect. So you get to select which planet you want to start with, and I selected Mars. And there is really no point of this game. You just do whatever you want, but here I'm putting up evaporators that put stuff in the air and biogenerators that generate this forest, so you get this forest growing on here. Thing is with the sim games that there's actually no point with these games at all. There can't be one, but there are scenarios, and here you just have to put life on the Mars planet. So you have this energy system which limits what task you can do, that makes the game a little bit harder. But otherwise you can do almost anything you want. So by the time your energy increases, and you can do more things again, and different things like placing life and modifying the ecosystem and how the planet works take away a different amount of energy. Now I'm playing the Earth, and really I'm nuking down the Earth. There's really no point of the game when playing other planets than populating the scenarios. And it brings us to the next game, Sim Life. This is a lot like Sim Earth, but it focuses more on the organisms themselves. It has the same thing that you can select your scenario and begin the game, but this is much more settings about the organism. You simulate the ecosystem of a very much smaller place than in Sim Earth, but you can still uh, change some things about the planet, like temperature and humidity. But the thing here is that you have no energy that limits you from doing what you're supposed to do or what you put the goal as, because again, there's no real point with this game. Instead, this game's difficulty settings changes the way uh, the organism behave and how much for example, the food is worth and how much food the organisms consume. So you have to plan out your organism, because in this game you're making your own organisms and making your own ecosystem. And really, this game really, the scenarios and everything has no point really, but this simulation has very many things to it, and you can change very many settings. So really, it's a real life simulator, literally. So here we have the classic SimCity. First, you begin by building your power plant, then you build the zones, industrial, commercial, and residential, where you want your different buildings to be. Then you connect the power and build the roads, and your city will begin to develop. It's up to you what kind of city you want to make, and you have a limit. You bring in tax money from the people that live in your city. Then you can further develop your city by placing additional buildings such as parks, police, and fire stations to keep crime rates down, so they will get a better life quality. Then of course you have the disasters, and here I'm destroying my city with some nice disasters: tornadoes, monsters, air crashes, fires, and everything. So yeah, this game is a real classic SimCity that set the standard for all SimCity games to come. So, after the first SimCity came SimCity 2000 with many new enhancements such as 3D graphics and new depth into game, new buildings, new things that you had to care about such as schools, hospitals, water lines, and you can also build subways. I really played this game a lot with my friend back in the days when he had the Mac version, which ran much smoother than the Windows version. The music in this game also sticks into my head, and really good music. So then we have Sim Tower, which focuses on a single building in the city. You begin by building your tower, and you decide if you want your offices and cafe where you want them. You put them. You also put condos which people live in. Then you unlock new stars when a certain amount of people come into your tower to unlock more stuff to build, like hotel rooms, and bring in more money to your tower. This game, I think, is really easy and repetitive. The optimal strategy is really easy to learn. You also have to care about the elevators and how the people can transport in between the tower. Then we have Sim Farm, and here I'm opening the Windows version. But yeah, it's just crap compared to the DOS version, which runs much faster. And that was not sped up, that was on the slow setting. So in Sim Farm, you create a farm, kind of like in Farmville, but this is much better, I think. You just create your farm, select your crop you want to plant. You have to plan out whether to spray stuff in them to keep them clear from weeds and stuff. and then you can build your ultimate farm. Really good game. And last but not least, there's Sim Ant. This is more like a strategy game than a simulation game, and it's kind of weird. Control this ant, and you have to collect food for your ants to make more ants, and then fight off your rival ants, which are the red ants, and watch out for spiders and other things on the way. You then expand your nest, and then you just go on and attack the red ants. And this game has really not much like simulation or anything to it. It's just really weird and humorous. It also contains some information about ants. And then your main goal is to take over this house and drive out the owner. Yeah, this game is okay, but not the best of the sim games. So in conclusion, the sim games are really great, but they're old, but they still have their charm. Also, the sim games really have their own kind of game. Maxis call them software toys, because there's really no point of most of the game. But one thing with the Sim Earth and the Sim Life games, there's really no point. I really can't find anything fun about playing a game because you don't begin from scratch. You already have your planet and everything, and I think Sim Life give you too much freedom in what you have to do, what you can do. But really, if you really like this kind of simulation game, especially the city and tower ones and farm too, sometimes they're really unclear what to do, what you can do, and when there now are these game facts strategy sites, it's really take off the point of the game, because you can just learn the best strategy and then your replayability is ruined. And I also wonder why they don't make this kind of game today anymore. EA has killed off Maxis completely. You can't see these good simulation games what was made back then. And I was very young. I was like 6 or 7 when these were made. Well, actually, I was just born when the first SimCity game was made. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.